Hey everybody, welcome back to Valentine TV. I hope y'all can hear me this time. Did nobody tell me that y'all could not hear me? Oh my god. Well, anyway, this is just how I am. I would do it over. The words probably would be totally different, and I apologize. Okay, I apologize. I hope I deleted the other one off. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's start again. Okay. Hey, Robert Jennings, why you didn't tell me you couldn't hear me? I'm gonna get you. Okay. I'm gonna do it over again. But anyway, y'all, Gina wrote the judge. Now she need to go to jail for that. She messing with the feds. You don't do not mess with the feds. I would suggest you don't mess with anybody in law enforcement. But if he wanted somebody to write a clean letter, he should have got darn Young Miami to write it, okay? Since he treats her like a lady, she say. But she didn't know she was just being groomed for a year or so, and then he was gonna start. Yeah, Robert didn't even tell me you couldn't even hear me last time. That's why I'm doing it all over. I'm making sure this time. All right. Sorry about that, everybody that was in the bushes and wondering why I'm doing the same one over again. Anyway, it's all good. It shows y'all how much patience I got, huh? But anyway, y'all, Gina messed up when she wrote that letter because now she faces at least 5 or more years if they decide to charge her with obstruction of justice and all of that stuff, right? Y'all know she hid and she supposed to been testifying. Then she pops out to say, I ain't scared of Diddy to TMZ. But TMZ knew what her and the lawyer was all this time, y'all. All this time, because the lawyer got ghost too. And Diddy paying for all of it. Got ghost too. So anyway, let's go. We're gonna rush this one right along. Right along. Okay?
Gina Han might have gotten Diddy in even more trouble, and she might even have gotten herself jammed up with some charges. Y'all sit down. We got to talk about this. Listen, if you guys don't know, Gina Han did two things today. Well, three. One, she exposed herself to be the biggest dum dum in history. Second of all, she outed herself as victim number three. Okay. And on top of that, she literally wrote an impassioned letter to the judge saying, her man, her man, her man. However, we all know that Gina is already on the Khloe Kardashian time. She will clock in and put on that clown nose and dance for a couple of dollars. We hope it's a couple of dollars. She might have been dancing just
For
because.
free. That's right.
All right. But the thing is, legal insiders are saying Gina is playing a dangerous game and she doesn't realize that Sean Diddy Combs just walked her down the path that could have her sitting in jail next to him. Because at the end of the day, Diddy is a desperate man and he really doesn't care. Okay. Now, listen, this is what my sources are telling me. Let me know what you think. Okay. Now, here's the thing people are saying that Gina is playing a dangerous game because she could get charged with Section 18 USC 1512 witness tampering. Okay. They said that she could actually get charged with not
Oh man. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Robert understands what I just did. I was trying to test it out. Alright. Evidently that don't work. Just 1 second, please. The video will be right back. Just a second. Okay, let me let her catch up. But in the meantime, in between time, what do y'all think gonna happen? Tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think they're gonna either rack on charges for Diddy, or do y'all think they're gonna lock her up, or do y'all think they're gonna get both? They just gonna do both. Get them. Because that don't make no darn sense. That don't make no kind of sense. I don't understand, girl. I forgot to put the nut on my darn, whatchamacallit.
18 USC 1512.
Oh, and the reactions coming from TISA Tales. Forgot to say it's in my description. The description of this video, okay?
Witness tampering. Okay. They said that she could actually get charged with not only witness tampering, but making false statements to the government and obstruction of justice. And baby, these crimes, if the government can prove it, carry heavy penalties. Okay. Witness tampering, depending on the severity, up to 20 years, up to 10 years, or up to 5 years for attempting to persuade a witness to lie, withhold testimony, or not appear. Get this. If feds believe that Gina was bribed, manipulated, or knowingly submitted false statements or testimony,
Mm.
the letter, she could face up to 10 years, especially if it was part of
Girl.
a coordinated effort to obstruct justice. Oh, it's more.
Oh, you know they talked about it. Cause I'm sure Diddy can make calls, right? To his parents and stuff. Well, I mean his mama and his children who are grown, all but one. So she talking about, cause Tisa read the whole letter out on her the last one live that I didn't do. I should, but this is the latest one, so I'm just gonna stick with this one. But yeah, she read the whole letter out what Gina wrote. Gina's an idiot. Let him out so he can take care of his family, the people who care about him, and what she fit into all that. She ain't no kin. Girl, everybody grown, like T said, everybody grown should be working, right? Since the twins don't want to go to college, they supposed to be starting a clothing thing. So ain't nobody take care of but the little one. Dang, I forgot her name, y'all. What's that little baby name? Um, Darn, cutie pie. Anyway, the baby. That's the only one he got, and the mama got her. The mama taking care of her. So she just gonna see you daddy when you get out. She'll be 20. She'll be about 20. All right, all right, let's keep it going.
False statements to the government. Okay? If Gina's letter contains knowingly false information submitted to the court, prosecutors could charge her with making a false statement in an official matter. That is up to 5 years in prison plus fines. This includes written statements like letters to the judge, especially if filed as part of a bail motion, and also obstruction of justice. This covers a broader act of interfering with the due administration of justice, including lying in official proceedings, influencing witnesses, and attempting to corrupt a judicial process. That carries up to 10 years in jail. So, baby, so what's the bottom line, right? If the feds believe that Gina lied in her letter to the court, was financially influenced to submit it, and or failed to cooperate with a subpoenaed appearance, then she could absolutely be indicted for witness tampering, obstruction, or false statements and face up to 5 to 10 years in prison, depending on the charge.
Hmm.
And remember, and this is the big thing that people need to remember, and this is what Diddy might not have counted on. The bigger risk is for Diddy. If they can prove that he was the source of pressure or payment, then he gets hit with obstruction, witness tampering, and maybe new charges, especially if Gina gets immunity to testify.
Oh yeah. See, they don't never think nothing all the way through. And you know with TMZ being a darn cheerleader, you know what I'm saying? TMZ, they got too many things going on. I can't wait till they get caught up. TMZ, y'all gonna get caught up, watch. Cause y'all got too many things going on at one time, okay? Too many. Y'all doing it too fast now. Everything's happening so fast now. Excuse me, y'all. You about to trip over your own feet. right? And we're gonna be right here looking down at you when you fall, okay? So anyway, yeah. I apologize for going through this video so fast, but I've done it already. I've said my like rawness, and so I apologize. Y'all you couldn't hear me. I apologize. But anyway, Gina's wrong. Y'all know she's wrong. She probably gonna man. She get some fed time along with Diddy since she love him so much. She want to be in the same type of environment he in. Like I said on that last one, uh, they can send kites to each other, but he'll probably write on his return to sender. Okay.
Against them. You guys, I do not think that Diddy thought that letter was going to turn out the way it did. Now, let's actually sink down deeper into it because it needs to be talked about. Now, you guys need to remember Gina was listed as victim number 3, but she refused to testify. She was the one named. She gave testimony in front of a grand jury. She gave testimony in front of the netizens on Tasha K when she outlined his brutality. Okay? But she was not called as a witness in the federal case.
Right.
She refused to testify. She disappeared during key moments, okay? She popped out to do a pap stroll at TMZ when she was supposed to be missing, talking about, I don't think he's a danger. And it's rumored she's been financially supported by Diddy, rent, legal fees, and all that message.
And see, I don't even think they had that because they only said that Jane Doe was the only one that he was still paying her lawyer and her for her apartment and stuff like that. And then she stopped him from paying and got her own lawyer. If I'm remembering right, y'all. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. Even though Jane Doe flipped at the end too, I think, in my opinion. I think she flipped on at the end. She had a little change of heart. The more she sat there and looked at Diddy, even though she had her head down, but she was peeping up through all them tears, them darn crocodile tears. But no, Jane, at least she did go testify. Not unlike Gina. But Gina, I'm pretty glad you didn't, because you'd have probably they'd have got you for perjury right then and there. But yeah, just send him to talk the judge. I know he gonna have that Tasha K interview. Tasha K was asking you the best questions, girl. You was throwing it to her too, even about being preggo when you got stomped in your stomach, right? She was preggo. All right. So I'm gonna leave that right there.
All that other stuff, right? Now, you remember this happened during the trial. Again, let me break it down. She was one of the main witnesses in the case. They would call her material witness. She was named as a victim and she was subpoenaed to come in. And suddenly she reappeared with a glowing letter of support. Again, this isn't just a character reference. This is, somebody would say, a strategic piece of evidence designed to directly undermine the prosecution's theory of danger to victims. The problem is, Gina was one of the alleged victims prosecutors had previously suggested Diddy may have threatened, bribed, or intimidated. So now that she's suddenly reemerged on Diddy's side, it creates a perception of witness tampering, even if it's subtle or unspoken. That's the first thing that Diddy got a problem with. Okay? Now, people have been saying, yo, Diddy got to her. She disappeared when they needed her and came back when it could help them. And this is witness tampering, pure as day. They're even saying if she wasn't paid off, this looks horrible.
Yeah.
Again, a woman who ghosted the federal government just pops up with a signed letter for the guy she said not just hurt her, but tried to stomp a billion out of her.
Thank
and
you.
We're supposed to believe this? Again, Diddy don't care. He don't got nothing to lose. But the fact that Gina got walked, well, who knows? She might have did this on her own. She either got walked into this or she knowingly wanted to make a fool of herself with this. Again, this does not look good for Diddy because it's going to backfire. I know they thought this letter was meant to help, and I think Diddy's desperate now that Trump said he ain't letting him out at all. But if you put it into context,
Look, it's it's a content creator out here. I ain't gonna call the name on this one, but he said he thinks Trump's going to. As a matter of fact, it's two of them that said it. Now that I'm thinking about it, they thinking Trump is playing and he really is going to do it. Y'all, I am that had me shook today. I was shook because I'm like, now I ain't saying them two always right, but nah, the one that's always mostly right because they got the most like really paperwork that I've seen. He said no, 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 no. Yeah, and TISA got all them legal eagles she be going to, and all these sources she go to. Right, I know, and I feel that no, he's in there on two felonies, y'all. And then he also tried to get Cass's, well, he got Cass's mama to send 20,000, right? Even though he sent it back, he still did it. So I don't know what you call that. I don't know what you call that, but anyway, it happened. I seen another guy say it, so it must be in within realm. But the judge can bring all that redacted stuff. The judge can add that because he know what it is. He can add it. Add, yeah. They can get the stuff that we didn't hear in the courtroom. They can add that to the sentences, right? But anyway, let's keep going.
my sources say it confirms what the prosecution had already warned the judge about, that Diddy has power, influence, and financial reach to silence or sway his accusers through fear, money, or manipulation. The feds can easily go up there and be like, see, Judge Aaron, this is exactly what we meant.
Right.
We said he was tampering with witnesses. Look what happened with victim number 3. And again, even if Diddy can make the argument that this letter is technically legal, it could function as proof of the main problem. The defense is saying, look, Gina says he's not a danger, even though Gina said a lot of stuff. Ain't nobody coming to hear you sing, Otis.
That's why remember Gina was Jane Doe victim number, well, Jane Doe, but now we know she was victim number 3. And then all of a sudden she was like, I want to use my real name. I'm gonna use my real name. That's so Diddy and them would know, and they could get to her, and they could make her feel nice and talk sweet nothings in her darn ear. Man, boy, I bet she at the family house chilling, cause she said that he would never let her around the kids and stuff like. Or was that Jane Doe? One of them. And see, she get to chill with the kids and all that, just like she live there. You know what I'm saying? Mama treating her nice, kids treating her nice. Till they get what this letter ain't gonna work, then they gonna tell her to kick rocks, right? Y'all know I'm from the country. Kick rocks.
But the prosecution can now
Oh my
definitively say,
God.
and Your Honor, we just watched them in real time neutralize another victim. That's the danger. Again, some people are saying that the feds can go after Gina, but they got to be careful about it because the way they could get her is she is a material witness. Okay? She was a material witness. Now, the material witness. This is again, I don't think Gina saw this coming. And I don't think Diddy. Everybody's talking about, oh my God, I hope they bring state charges up. I hope they get it. I do hope they get them on state charges. But baby, by writing this letter, they might actually have Diddy on enough to get federal charges. And now that Trump has signaled he don't care, you wasn't on the winning team. Nah, nah, nah. Now that Trump has literally said to Diddy that he is on his own, I mean, who's going to stop him? Now, again, let's get back to Gina being a material witness. Under 18 USC section 3144, a material witness is someone whose testimony is essential to the case or unlikely to appear voluntarily. Now, we all know that Gina was not only essential to the case, she was named as one of the victims. And I do honestly believe that if Gina had bridged the gap, I think they would have gotten him on the sex trafficking. I really.
And then when Gina left, that's y'all remember we was like, dang, what the other witnesses at? That's because once Gina did that, the prosecution they didn't know who else might, act do this because I know they could tell Jane Doe had flipped the script at the end. You know what I'm saying? I know they could tell. So shoot, they probably was like, shoot, we called the next one up here. They might be darn pro Diddy. So they cut it off. The point of the matter is, Gina, you are an idiot to me right now. You ain't thinking about you being selfish. You thinking about yourself and Diddy. But you thinking about you ain't even thinking about the victims. It's more people than just you. You just think about yourself. And then you heard what I know you listened. I know you listened to the trial. I know you did. So I know you know how. Well, shoot, you was in there with them. I forgot. You know firsthand. My bad.
do. But a fool and his dummy are never parted. If both are true, and I believe they are, the court can issue a material witness warrant. Again, that would be to detain or compel testimony. Okay? However, being listed as victim number 3 in the indictment, that was already enough.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. The prosecution meant to call Gina and made a case where her testimony was critical, and Gina still refused to appear, disappeared, and otherwise avoided cooperation. Okay? Again, Gina explicitly identified in filings as a
Every time I look at Diddy's lips on somebody, that's why I frown. Ugh.
victim. She not only was referenced, but she testified before the grand jury. She was expected to testify. She refused to appear and then disappeared. Her lawyer even disappeared. The lawyer Diddy was paying for. And now she suddenly reappeared to write a letter. Baby, this is textbook setup for material witness issue. Again, she was subpoenaed. Her absence weakened their case, and she had material info about the charge, the violence, the coercion, the past abuse. They can, and my sources say they may, argue that since she was a material witness who evaded appearance, they could pursue obstruction or witness tampering charges depending on what they actually
Girl,
have
you
proof
crazy.
happened behind the scenes. You guys, this is a strategic problem for Diddy. Even if there's no money trail to Gina or one that they can prove yet, her letter contradicts earlier accusations, undermines the prosecution, and confirms what they warned the court about, the influence over victims. If they believe Gina was paid, pressure, or coaxed into silence, her reappearance may backfire hard and trigger a reopening of obstruction or tampering investigations with Diddy, or a motion to disregard her letter as tainted, or even a grand jury scrutiny of her and Diddy's financial relationship. Again, you guys, this is bad for Diddy. And I can't believe that they even tried to do that.
Mm.
Again, people make legal, and there's also a moral argument people aren't actually paying into. Okay? Gina's saying, I don't think he's an issue. Baby, a victim's forgiveness is not the
Thank you.
race. Diddy's danger to the general society. Nobody cares if you don't care about getting drop kicked in the face, Gina. Diddy can't be drop kicking women in the case. Oh, well, right? This is not Gina v. Sean Combs. It was America v. Sean Combs. Because what's on trial wasn't just what he did to her, it's what he represents, a system where power and money let men brutalize women and walk away clean. Even if Gina forgave him, you guys, it wouldn't be an argument.
Mm-mm.
We don't legalize abuse just because someone's learned to live with it. Gina's writing this letter isn't proof Diddy's not dangerous. It's proof his reach reaches further than we thought. And you don't get to drop kick someone in the mouth and then have them apologize for bleeding. Gina may be okay with it now, but what message does it send to the next girl? This case was never, and it's no longer about whether Gina feels safe. It's about whether any of us should feel safe in a world where power buys silence, where abuse gets framed as misunderstood love, a modern love story, and where influence becomes immunity. Baby, listen, Gina's a dummy for doing this. But again, I think she's doing it because she wants to do it. And again, people can say Gina's a victim, and I truly do believe that Gina might be the victim. But at a certain point, when the victim sides with the
Mm-mm.
devil, baby, you the ops, and we got to treat
That's
you
it,
as
right?
such. Listen, let me know what you think in the
There you go. She is the ops. She used to be. She was a victim. When I thought she was gonna testify, but when she done left, Diddy been in jail like what 11 months? I read today 11 months, and she still ain't got her head on straight, and she's still doing this stuff to get him out, and don't even care if she goes to the prison or not. She don't even care. But the point of the matter is, that's on her. That's that's on her. They gonna be doing during sending during kites and stuff. That's all. But y'all, if y'all haven't subscribed, like, and share the video, subscribe. Thank you so much. I hate to rush it, but I had to do it again. I mean, so I couldn't. This ain't my rawness of it, but it's all right, I guess. But anyway, I will see y'all later. Thank you, Robert Jennings, for coming over here every time, keeping me company. I appreciate you. Put a face on that avatar, Robert. Don't be ashamed of yourself, man. Now do what you want. Do what you want. It's your business. You got it. All right. And I'll see y'all later, okay? All right. Thanks again, though, Robert.